Increasing numbers of people are purchasing online, or at the very least doing their research online and shopping around. So just what will the future of retail look like? What will the future retailer be? The new look is causing shockwaves through the traditional retailing industry, a situation our next guest, I'd have to say, is all too familiar with. Ruslan Kogan is the founder of Kogan.com.au. It is rated as one of the fastest growing Australian companies. Ruslan joins us this morning and we appreciate his time. Very good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Well, thank you. When did you see the future of retailing?
Was the question, when did I see it?
Yeah, when did you see it? Because you've grasped it with both hands, haven't you?
Yeah, certainly. Well, it was in around 2003 when I did a semester in America, in Miami, and I saw that all the local kids were buying everything online and getting it for ridiculous prices, while all the international kids started off shopping at Walmart because we'd been educated that Walmart is huge and they've got the biggest buying power, so they've got the cheapest prices. So all the international students went to Walmart to buy all the things they needed, like a bar fridge, and all the local kids, all the Americans were getting it online for half the price. So at that point I realized, I said, hang on a second, a small online retailer can operate with greater efficiency and give better prices than a Goliath like Walmart.
How far behind the game are we in retailing in Australia, in your view?
Look, we're a fair bit behind. The leaders in this space is America and the UK. So Kogan recently expanded to the UK as well to, capture that market. But, we seem to be a bit scared of change. We've got our business leaders at the moment screaming for government protectionism in order to stifle the growth of the online industry. And we've got everyone talking it down. Whereas, we've got some of the best universities in the world, some of the best IT degrees. And I've got some friends that are, IT experts that have had no choice but to leave and go work in America and work in the UK because that's where they're really embracing this industry. So we're a fair bit behind, but we're definitely catching up, especially recently since people are realizing the massive savings they can get online because these businesses operate with far greater efficiency.
Just explain for our listeners your business model.
Yeah, so the way Kogan operates is we design all of our products in Melbourne at our headquarters here in Melbourne. So the products include LCD TVs, LED TVs, Blu-ray players, home appliances, vacuum cleaners, microwaves. We've got a massive range now of over 100 products. So they're all designed in Melbourne, then manufactured in Asia using components from around the globe. So for instance, our LED TVs will use components from Korea and, then get manufactured in Asia. Our coffee machine will use components from Germany and Italy. And then we run it through a production line in Asia, have it sent in containers to our warehouses in Melbourne, and then distributed online to consumers. So you can go onto Kogan.com.au, you make a purchase, and then, if you buy before 8 a.m., you get it the same day most of the time, but, sometimes takes a couple of days to arrive at the person, and you can save lots of money that way because we've cut out all the middlemen.
How do you see, if you were to gaze into a crystal ball and look, 10 years down the track, what do you think the face of retailing in Australia will be?
Well, there'll certainly be a lot more people shopping online. The thing with online is that people have learned that they can research products much quicker, they can compare prices much quicker, and it doesn't discriminate against your location. Yes, some people have retail stores selling a specific product within a few kilometres of their house, but for other people, they might have to drive 100 kilometres to get to a shop that sells that product. With the internet, it's all a national marketplace. People, no matter where you are, you're getting the same deals. And on top of that, it's now understood that online has won the price game. The prices online are better than in bricks and mortar stores. But what's going to happen is bricks and mortar stores are never going to die. They're always going to be there because people do want to, walk around. It's an activity as such to go shopping. And what these stores are going to have to realize is that they're going to have to create value for their customers in a different way other than price. For the last 50 years, all they've done with their marketing and advertising is screaming at us through their ads saying, best prices, on sale, 50% off, stock take sale, all of that sort of stuff, trying to drive people into the stores. People are now smarter. They know that online they can compare prices easier, get the best deal. So these stores are going to have to either offer you, the best service possible, where they'll have actual real experts about certain products educating you about the product. Because what they've got at the moment is the same guy who sells you a microwave will then sell you a bed, will then sell someone else a toaster and someone else a TV. Now, people have realized, well, hang on a second, you can't be an expert at all of those products. They're just a salesman. So these stores are going to have to educate their staff better, provide some extra service that creates real value for the consumer, so the consumer's willing to say, well, look, I know it's going to cost me a bit more to buy from this store, but it's going to save me the time of doing my own research on Google because I can just trust this guy.
Do you think the face of retail will change in such a way that stores become just a place where people go to look at product and then buy online? The online stores will actually have a physical presence in some places for people to get the touch and feel of goods, and that perhaps is the biggest change that we're going to see.
Yes, certainly. That will have a big role in the change of retail because, for instance, you've got stores at the moment, I know here in Melbourne, where if you want to buy a tennis racket, you can go to a certain shop that has a tennis court out the back and they've got tennis pros working there, and you can have a hit with a few rackets, and then people understand, well, yeah, I'll pay $200 for a racket that I can get for $100 online, but I've got to have a hit with it and chat to a pro. But then you've also got companies like Nespresso with their coffee that are creating experience centres around the country where you can walk into an Nespresso centre. It's located in shopping centres all around the country. It gives you a feel for the brand. You get to try out the different types of coffee. You get to chat to someone about the coffee, and they don't sell you anything in the store. You can't buy anything in the store. They say if you want to buy it, you go online and buy it. This store is purely about allowing you to indulge in our brand and get to understand our brand.
Look, we know it's had a huge impact on Australia's post-parcel section, but it does sound like it could be very damaging for regional, smaller regional centres, and unless they in some way find a way to embrace the new online world.
I think it's doing the opposite. I think it's creating opportunities for regional centres in several ways. So, for instance, people, no matter where you live, you now have access to the same bargains as someone who lives in a metropolitan area. So you get to save money on a day-to-day basis. We know that it's fact at the moment that, for instance, supermarkets charge higher prices in rural areas than they do in highly populated areas. Now, with the internet, the prices for all these goods will be the same for everyone. But on top of that, what it's creating is this internet world where if someone in a rural area has a certain skill set, knows how to work online, they can very easily start to work for an online business and help out an online business without needing to travel into the city to work. And we're seeing a huge trend of that. Like, for instance, in our company, we allow staff to work from home whenever they want. If there's traffic or, they need to look after the kids and things like that, as long as you're behind the computer, you're fully functional. Yeah. So if it suits you to come in, you can come into the office. If you want to work from home, you can work from home. So it's creating extra jobs in that sense as well. Yeah. But also, you've got warehouse and logistics companies that are booming, building distribution centres everywhere because of the rise of online retail. Australia Post even announced just the other day that they're extending the working hours of all their post office. They're extending the working hours of all their facilities. They're hiring more people because of the boost in online retail and what that's doing for the industry. So in some sense, well, yes, people will lose some jobs in conventional retail as we've known it for the last 50 years. It's going to create a lot more jobs in other areas, and people will have more money to spend as well. So in terms of the net benefit for the economy, I think it's a great thing.
Ruslan Kogan, it's a fascinating area. It's a brave new world. Appreciate your time this morning.
Cheers. Thanks, Tim.
Ruslan Kogan, he's the founder and CEO of Kogan, but it is a fascinating change in retailing, and it's a revolution.